Hi, welcome back to Practice with Polly. This is part 3 of my spice mixture demonstrations. And if you recall, in part 1, we put together a spice mixture. We simply put the spices in the grinder, ground them up, and created this blend of spices. So that can be used with any spice mixture that you liked in any recipe. So this was the one that we just made for springtime. It was a combination of cumin, coriander, fennel. It also had some black caraway seed, and it also had turmeric in it. So this was the spice mixture I made. And I have vegetables that I already cooked, and I want to just season the spices over top of those cooked vegetables. This works well for like asparagus, or again, any of those cabbages that kale that you might use. You might saute some kale up, or even spinach. Any of those leafy greens, it pairs really well with. So anyway, here's my spice mixture, and I want to just drizzle it over top of it. So to activate this and to actually cook this, you can cook it in a fat. So my fat of choice is clarified butter or ghee. And this is one that I made myself, but you can purchase this in many stores. So clarified butter is the butter oil without the milk solids. So people that are lactose intolerant tend to be able to tolerate this well. The reason I like this clarified butter is because it has a really high smoke point, so it won't burn. And putting it in a pan, usually it can handle the direct heat that's underneath the pan. Again, I'm going to be using a cast iron pan because that heats up slower and it distributes the heat a little bit better. So put my pan right there on the burner, nice and easy there. And I hope you can see that. I'll push it back a little bit so it makes, and I'm just going to turn the gas on so that the pan starts to heat up. Take my ghee and put my ghee right there in the pan. Nice. The ghee will semi-solid at room temperature, but it'll quickly begin to melt. Nice. And while it's melting there, let's say I have my spice mixture, and I want to add a teaspoon of that spice mixture over top of my vegetable or my grain that I've just cooked. I'll take a teaspoon of that, put it in the oil, stir it around gently, and I'll take the camera and try to point it down so you can see a little bit more what's happening in that pan. As it begins to heat up, you'll begin to see that it'll start to bubble on the sides. I don't know if you can see that it's starting to bubble. And it'll gently begin to roast. So right there on the corner, it's starting to bubble right on the edge. And now I'm roasting those spices. Instead of dry roasting them like I did in part 2, I'm roasting them in the oil. And in this case, we said this where I'm using clarified butter. So as this then heats up, that's about, it's starting to boil up really good. And again, you know, the temperature increases pretty rapidly in this type of cooking method. So you want to be careful that you do not burn it because it will get quite hot. That's about done. I can smell the spices. Turn off the gas. And now this might be hot, which it is. So you might need to have a pot holder. Take that, pour that right over top of your vegetable or your grain, mix it in, and you're ready to go. And that's a very common method that I use to prepare my spice to pour over top of a grain. I use it in warm salads. I will use it in warm pre-cooked, pre-blanched vegetables, pour it over vegetables. So it's a really nice, quick way to prepare the spice and roast it. One other question that I get is, well, what if I don't have clarified butter? What other choice can you use? I would not use olive oil in this pan because olive oil might scorch. Its cooking point is lower. It's about 350 degrees. So this tends to get hotter than that, and then you'll scorch and burn the oil. So you don't want to go past that. One oil that I do use is an avocado oil. I use it sparingly, but that will hold at high temperature as well. So with that, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Ayurveda Health for Life, and enjoy cooking with all these spices. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I look forward to seeing you again.